King David writes about crushing his enemies until they turned to dust under his boots. He fought a physical war, and he won. There is a deep psychological comfort in that kind of ending. The physical threat stops breathing. The danger is neutralized. Your nervous system finally gets the signal it's been waiting for. You can stand down. You are safe. But consider what happens when your enemies don't have bodies. Think about fighting with everything you have, only to wake up the next morning and find them waiting for you, invisible, rested, and ready to attack from a completely new angle. The old rules of war break down here. When the battlefield is your mind, your relationships, or your faith, waiting for the enemy to wave a white flag means you will be waiting forever. Most of us are fighting a different kind of battle. You're dealing with anxiety that resurrects itself with your morning alarm. You're navigating toxic work environments that outlive your attempts to fix them. You're caught in messy patterns with people you love, dynamics you can't quite name, but you feel their weight every day. A sword is useless against a feeling. You cannot put a chokehold on a panic attack. You can't physically crush what you can't even see. And that creates a unique, heavy kind of exhaustion. You are constantly on edge because the opponent never retreats, never calls a truce, and never actually dies. If the things attacking us never plan to leave the battlefield, then relying on the old definition of winning is a trap. We need a new way to measure success. Look closely at Psalm 18. While King David celebrates crushing foes, his real fight is internal. The opening lines describe feeling buried alive, suffocated by unseen forces. His rescue isn't military, it's relational. He survives by staying tethered to God, maintaining his character under pressure. That satisfying, tactile moment of flattening an opponent is actually the exception in these stories. Think about the giants of history. Job held on to his character when the universe felt malicious and God went silent. Jesus resisted temptation that no one else could see, sweating blood in a dark garden while his closest friend slept right through it. The standard for warfare in these texts is almost entirely invisible. That means the mental and emotional trenches you fight in every day are just as significant as any physical battlefield. We must break a deeply ingrained habit, believing a fight is over only when the threat disappears. That math doesn't work for the mind. Winning actually looks like this: keeping your character intact. The pressure remains, but you refuse to let fear dictate your decisions. The writer Paul puts this plainly in his letter to the Ephesians. He tells his readers to prepare themselves so that when trouble comes, they can stand their ground. And after doing everything, to stand. The goal here is to stand. This means the panic attack still washes over you, but you don't let it cancel your plans. You stand. It means the person manipulating you tells a lie, and instead of doubting your reality, you name the manipulation. You stand. The enemy might still be in the room with you, but victory happens the moment you refuse to let them write the rules of engagement. So let's put this into practice. Over the next week, try a simple 4-step exercise to rewrite how you measure your own success. Step 1. Name the invisible enemy. Write it down and make it painfully specific. Anxiety is too broad. The voice telling me I'm failing my family and should just quit, that is an opponent you can actually identify. Step 2. Define what standing your ground looks like for that specific fight. This isn't about the anxiety vanishing forever. It looks more like, I feel the anxiety in my chest, but I still choose to show up to the meeting. Step 3. Take 2 minutes before you go to sleep to notice when you won. Ask yourself, where did I stand today? You felt the attack, but you didn't collapse. You held your ground. Step 4. Share this with someone you trust. Once a week, tell a friend, here is where I stood under fire. You don't need to report that you crushed the enemy, just that you faced them. By tracking these small choices, you stop feeling like you are trapped in an endless cycle of defeat. Instead, you build a concrete, factual record of your daily resilience. King David crushed his enemies until they fell beneath his feet. That was his calling. Yours involves a different kind of endurance, facing invisible, exhausting battles with no physical proof that you are winning. Remember the words to the Ephesians. After you do everything you can, you stand. You are still here. You are still showing up, still fighting, and still holding on. When the smoke finally clears, finding your feet firmly planted on the ground is a profound success. That's victory.